Hello and welcome to Chronicles of Elyria Content Patchwork, where we collect information stated from mods and dev journals and pile it into one video. In this video, we'll be talking about souls and the price you can pay to be soulless. So first off, what is a soul? A big part of Chronicles of Elyria is the aging and dying mechanic of the game. So a soul is the black box that records all the information that you have previously done in your past lives. So this makes it easier for your in-game character to catch up to where you were before. To give you an example of this, say you are a traveling blacksmith and suddenly you get attacked and killed by a group of bandits while transporting your swords. Your soul will then be put into another body and will essentially resemble a younger version of your former self. Your new, younger body will then be able to relearn the skills of your former self. Only difference is you will start off a lot faster than you did the first time until you get to the point where you were before, and then you will continue as normal. With this game mechanic in place, it would make sense that people would want to hold onto their souls, because they are essentially all the progress that you have accomplished. But if the price of immortality and power costed you your soul, would you do it? In this game, there has been confirmed two soulless immortal creatures that you can become as the player. Now, keep in mind that being one of these will take an extreme amount of effort to just accomplish the feat. One of the creatures is a vampire. The other is a lich. As for Quo, the vampire has its normal disadvantages, like not being allowed in the daylight, being forced to feed on the souls of your enemies in order to keep yourself alive. There are also some other things included. This being that vampires can steal other players' soul and turn them into vampires. What this means is you can go around and stalk other players and take their skills that they have been working so hard to obtain. Before you start having an overpowered fit, you can get the soul back if you manage to kill the vampire that has stolen your soul, as long as any other souls that they have consumed or held onto. This system has an extreme amount of world depth to it. For instance, let's say you're the very first vampire in a game. As time goes on, he casually keeps feeding on NPCs to gain power. Then, one day he gains a special talent that lets him convert other players into vampires to gain even more power. The first vampire will then want to convert as many people into a second generation of vampire, who will then over time make a third generation, etc. What you essentially end up seeing is a vampire power hierarchy of people who want to get their souls back from the vampires that have turned them, as well as other non-vampire players trying to eliminate the vampire outbreak that you have started. So this feeling of being hunted and hunting down other players gets put into the community. Now, with this in mind, let's talk about the Lich. The Lich is an undead creature that puts his soul in a box, and the only way you can kill this Lich is by going after his box and destroying it. There are some measures that the Lich can go about to protect his box, like hiring NPC, taming wild beasts, build a dungeon with traps, and as a last resort, defend it himself. And presto, you make the very first raid, and you become the very first raid boss that everybody wants to kill. It has not been revealed as to what a Lich can do, but from lore we can get a good understanding. In the lore, the Lich is a hive mind for undead forces. So what could possibly see a Lich walking into a graveyard and summoning a giant army to take over nearby town, and using their corpses to add more to their army, and thus feeding a never-ending cycle of slaughter for the sake of power. And if no one stops you, or keeps your army at bay, you might take over the entire kingdom. Imagine the impact that you would have in the game world. You would be the guy that people would fear and talk about, and essentially have the entire kingdom gathering up all its forces it can muster just to take you out, because that's how much of a threat you will become. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Content Patchwork. If you would like a topic to be discussed, feel free to comment down below. Also, while you're down there, hit the like and subscribe button. Until the next episode, see you next time.